Today we're talking about the very controversial Judge Rotenberg Educational Center in Massachusetts. This is a center that's known for using electric shock devices to control the residents in the center. Of course, autistic advocates have been advocating for the center to stop using those electric shock devices. And there was recently a court case that overturned a ban on using those devices on the residents of the center. So let us discuss the appropriateness of using electric shock devices on people with developmental disabilities and what is with that court ruling. Liza, let me start with you for a bit of background on the center and the electric shock devices, and a bit of information about the case as it moves through the courts.
Okay, thank you. So the Judge Rotenberg Center, Rotenberg, I've heard it pronounced both ways. It was founded in the early 70s under a different name, under the name the Behavior Research Institute, and had sections of it, areas of it in California and other areas before it moved to Massachusetts, specifically in Canton, which, if I remember correctly, is further east Massachusetts, somewhere somewhat near the Boston area. It's existed in its current form in many ways since then. It's considered an educational center, but just like we've seen in the past, that isn't quite all of it. First of all of its residents are disabled in some way. A lot of them either emotionally disabled, otherwise developmentally disabled, or autistic. And there have long been concerns about the ways in which this center treats its residents. Even before the concern about the graduated electroshock device, or the GED, had come about, whether that was in its use of negative reinforcement and positive punishment, i.e. negative means taking something away. So negative reinforcement will be taking away a positive thing to try and decrease the occurrence of an undesired behavior, whereas positive punishment would be adding something negative or harmful, or otherwise adding something unwanted to decrease the occurrence of an undesired behavior. This center has been using both, despite the fact that many studies have been done proving that in general, positive reinforcement is better and more effective than negative reinforcement or positive punishment. However, the biggest thing this has been in the news and on social media lately is the aforementioned GED. This device is supposedly used to correct behavior, and it is a device that is worn by a resident or student, as the JRC calls them, and controlled by a remote by another individual, most often those that they deem their teachers.
Now, speaking about the graduated electric, anyway, speaking about the shock devices,
GED, yeah.
So several activists, organizations, Governments have deemed these things to be a form of torture. They have deemed what goes on at the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center as torture. There's video evidence of people being tortured